Have you ever been in a conversation with someone and you can tell they're multitasking, or they might have a lot of different things on their mind and not really paying attention in the conversation? How does it feel? Well, personally, I feel that it's frustrating when someone is really disengaged, and it makes me feel like I'm not important or they don't care about the conversation. And honestly, it's a waste of my time and theirs when I'm not present or they are not present and really thinking about other things. And it's natural. There's a lot of different things that are competing for our attention. And oftentimes we think that there might be something else that's more important, and there's lots of other things that are racing in our minds. But when that happens, there's so many missed opportunities in our conversations. And I was just chatting with a friend the other day, and this kind of surfaced, and I had this experience. And, I could tell that there was, definitely other things on their mind as we were talking. And so, I just paused and I asked, hey, is now still a good time to connect? Or is there something else that's higher priority? And, they said, hey, thanks for asking that. Actually, there is a lot of things that are going on in my mind right now. Maybe we can connect later. I said, great, it's not urgent. Let's do that. And, at the same time, if they, didn't do that, then, it really would end up being a longer conversation because they're trying to, kind of talk to me and think about these other things. So it takes a lot longer to then actually get at the heart of what you might be chatting about. And also, if I was not able to be present, then it's my responsibility to actually just share that with someone and say, hey, I really want to have this conversation with you. Now is just not a good time because I'm focusing on X, Y, and Z. Is it urgent, or could we circle back later? So that's really important in order to make sure that we're present for a conversation. But the other key thing is to just focus on one thing and know that that is the most important thing right now. So if you're gonna have the conversation, then here's one simple tip that you can do, which is go into the conversation and really think that you can learn something from that person. That's it. It's that simple. Because I wholeheartedly believe that every person is interesting and has an interesting story to share, and we can learn something from every person in every conversation. And when we do that, it makes the conversation so much different and more enriching. So I just go into every conversation just genuinely curious about that person. I'm not just trying to assert my opinion. I'm not just trying to ask something. I'm really just trying to learn about what they might be thinking or feeling or believing. And, through that, it makes the conversation that much more enriching. And when we learn something, I think it makes life more interesting. So I hope that this just provided a couple of quick tips on how you can, one, go into your conversations thinking that someone is going to be interesting, so you don't have a boring conversation and you really learn something. And then two, if it's not a good time, check in with that person or really just ask for some permission and grace to circle back on that conversation. And with that, I hope that it really helps you enjoy some more curious conversations where you can be really present today.